Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now August 6th of 2023, and given that there's a lot of things happening right now with Disney and Lucasfilm and how they're really trying to also really kind of steer things in the right path with all of the franchises that they own, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, Planet of the Apes, Simpsons, and more, just to name a few there. There's also a lot of things that Bob Iger and the board are dealing with. However, when it all dwindles down to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, somebody specifically that has been really trying to upsell Indy 5 endlessly, things have been progressing with Phoebe Waller-Bridge on multiple fronts. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the subject, shall we? Now, the one big problem about Phoebe Waller-Bridge is that she is right up there with Brie Larson, very egotistical. A lot of cast members that they have worked with do not like her, do not agree with them, and the fact that she also has the audacity to say specific things that really creates a lot of controversy and criticism among fandoms like Star Wars and Indiana Jones fans as well, just goes to show you how out of touch with reality she really is. Now that brings us to Phoebe Waller and specifically what she had to say to the fans in general. Anything ranging from Star Wars to Indiana Jones. After the Dial of Destiny failed at the box office, we all know that people out there like Kathleen Kennedy and Phoebe Waller had been going into damage control over this movie and really just trying to say anything that they can to justify what they did with Indiana Jones 5, specifically, of course. Now, on top of this, with Phoebe Waller still upselling and defending Indy 5 to this day, she went on to deliver something significant to the fans of both Indiana Jones and Star Wars by stating the following. I think both fandoms for Star Wars and Indiana Jones are just the most toxic in nature. They have the worst fans, if they even want to call themselves fans. I think that they are just posers who like to complain about things that they need to grow up already. This was the problem that we were dealing with and facing with for Solo: A Star Wars Story and The Dial of Destiny. They just can't accept that a woman is at the forefront in a major role, and they get so defensive when screen time is taken away from the main character and/or hero that they grew up with or are familiar with in pop culture. I just find it ridiculous, and it's something that we just had to deal with when making Indiana. I told James Mangold that it's best to never listen to the fans anyway, because then your story is just never told. That's why I think I succeeded so much with Fleabag, and how I aim to make my Tomb Raider show into a smashing success for Amazon. I think it's important to not listen to the fans or individuals that feel entitled or feel like they have some kind of authority over a property. Now, let me just stop here for 1 second about what Waller-Bridge is explaining, is that she feels that it's best to tune out the fans and to ignore the fans and/or fandoms completely. And that's the opposite, alright? That's the overall bigger problem, and I think it's one of the main reasons why Indiana Jones 5 failed. We all know that Phoebe Waller-Bridge made a lot of contributions to the script by Mangold. She contributed to the story, much like how she contributed to James Bond 25, No Time to Die. You know, there were elements in there that fans weren't all too appreciative over, and that had a lot to do with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, not a big surprise. And what she's doing now with the Tomb Raider series, the fact that she thinks that she's going to get away with changing that show so drastically from the source material and how she believes that ignoring the fans is the solution, just goes to show you how, like I said before, egotistical she really is. She's right up there with Brie Larson, if not worse, to be honest. But when you look at stuff like this is where things begin to tumble, because you have people like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, where studios are hiring her, or she's working on her own stuff that gets, of course, out there. You also have her contributing to other franchises where she's not even a writer. Like, I don't even know how this is allowed. So, the same exact thing applied with Indy 5. She did not put a pencil on paper or typed anything up for the script. She literally just said to James Mangold, do this, this, or that, make this happen, execute it in that way, and let's move forward with that. That's how she contributes. She basically tells and orders the writers to do specific things, and to convince them that it's the better route. Same exact thing applied technically with Bond 25. And other franchises out there like Solo: A Star Wars Story even. She also contributed to the Han Solo film, even though she wasn't really a writer on that at all. So that's the problem that we're dealing with when it comes to Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She must have an influence on these companies one way or another, somehow, some way. Now, she goes on to elaborate. I have also been having some fun conversations with Barbara on the next Bond film, which is going to be refreshing. I gave her plenty of ideas that she has been so supportive over of some of my concepts coming to life. I mean, I'm just having a ball and enjoying the time of my life. Coming out of Indy, which was a challenge, I think it's best to pursue fandoms that aren't really toxic, and I firmly believe that Tomb Raider is a great destination to free my mind from that toxicity. We are going to be reinventing Lara Croft in ways nobody would ever imagine, and I am just thrilled to show the world what I have brainstormed so far. I think shifting away from both Star Wars and Indy fans was a great evolution for my career in the long run, and I am just blessed to be attached to other franchises out there in the world. Now, again, she likes to use her favorite word, toxicity, right? Or toxic. And I think that that word is really honestly overly used at this day and age in 2023. You know, this has been an ongoing word since like 2016, maybe even before that. It's gotten quite redundant, it's gotten quite old, and when you look at stuff like this where Phoebe Waller is openly making it clear that she believes that going toward the Tomb Raider franchise is going to solve her problems with dealing with quote-unquote toxic fandoms, it's not the truth. The reason why you have these supposed toxic fans is that you're stripping down the source material and you're building upon it and leaving the source material in the grave. That's why things like Kathleen Kennedy's, work on Star Wars has not succeeded. Maybe it made money with the movies, sure, but it wasn't widely accepted among the actual fans, right? I think that they're getting confused with their, success with their projects in the past between real fans and just regular moviegoers that go to the movies to catch a popcorn flick in their point of view. There's a lot of people out there that saw Star Wars where they didn't even know little facts like, what time period the sequels are based in, or what era it's actually placed in, stuff like that. There's people out there that just saw the movie just because. We get a lot of examples like that, and I think that's what Disney looks at when it comes to the numbers. They're just looking at everybody, the general population seeing these things. So, overall, I'm really intrigued about what's going to happen with this Tomb Raider series. I really hope it never sees the light of day. The writer's strike, of course, is delaying the process on that. But I'm just still not surprised that Amazon is allowing this to even happen. And after everything that happened with Lord of the Rings, that's why I'm not shocked. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.